Rex survives this. No, not in the usual I can't believe he didn't die kind of way, but in the never have I rooted harder for a bullet to do its intended job kind of way. Invincible's under the impression that we need to see every last ounce of blood leave Rex's body, and we do not.
Whatever you are planning, it will fail.
It will not. Cliché.
We will grant you death instead.
If you've thus far lacked the ability to enslave them, why are you so sure you can kill them now? The fight seems like a stalemate thus far. I'm weirdly curious about which part of Shapeshift's body his head is currently popping out of. I mean, I'm not, but I kind of am. Eve is conscious now, has been for a few minutes. So why isn't she using her powers? Make a suit for yourself and Rudy real quick. What's stopping you? Mortal and Invincible can't even get along long enough to have a 2-second conversation, but they've got a freaking nodding system worked out.
I'm not sure you'll ever get the floors clean again.
Have you not watched Breaking Bad? If you have enough time and chemicals, you can clean anything. A few corpse barrels, some industrial dissolvement, some bleach, and wham! Clean missiles base.
Sir? Are you alright?
Being defeated by a brain-damaged man with one hand. This is why no one takes you seriously, Lizard King. We'd understand if you were beaten by Shrinking Ray. But Rex? Why the f*** is Black Samson carrying the astronaut? Why not one of the people who can actually fly?
Which button fires back?
I don't know. I've only been inside one of these ones. When I was a kid, it was a school trip.
Taking children on a school trip in a heavily armed spaceship. How the f*** did Mark know that's where the engine was? Did he grab some schematics during their hasty escape that we didn't get to see? Oh, that must have been what the cutaway was for.
Let's see if we can do this without you peeing on me again.
Kids.
Right. Because a top secret government lab is the perfect place to raise a child.
Have you seen the waiting lists and costs at daycares post-COVID? Trust me, Debbie, if you're being offered free childcare, you take it. There are working couples across the country that would kill to place their kids in a government lab for a few hours a day.
All right, you win.
Really? Because I get the sentiment, but that kid still has some Viltrumite in him and could be an eventual danger to the entire planet. But sure, let's just leave him with Deb and hope for the best.
I'm gonna need an entire box of Q-tips to get all that Sequid slime out of my ears.
Using tiny eardrum perforating cotton swords to clean your ears out. Perhaps one thing this superhero series does better than any other is show us the actual consequences of being a superhero. It's not all colorful tights and quips. People die. People grieve. Nowhere is their humanity on greater display than in the silence. Remove a f***ing sin before I start crying.
Kate Chow was a fearless warrior.
I still don't understand how Kate died. If she can make copies of herself, why not make one and leave it at headquarters permanently? Is there a limit on the distance her copies can travel from each other? If not, tuck 2 or 3 away in bunkers and she'd still be alive. And even if we find out later she did do this, the fact that this isn't everyone's first assumption is a sin.
Why do I feel this way, Marcus?
Because he loved her, man.
Did he? We got one post-combat shower scene. Would have been cool to actually see them interacting maybe a bit more.
I'm at the point where I just roll out of bed and go to lectures in my pajamas.
College kids.
We're hoping his Viltrumite half will kick in soon.
You are? Because I think having to choose some food for the kid is a small price to pay to keep him from, say, going mad on Viltrumite juice and trying to take over the world.
I missed you.
I missed you too.
Skip!
Mark, look who's back! Whoa, Rick, how are you feeling?
Am I supposed to remember this character? Hang on, let me check the wiki real quick. Yeah, right, okay, Yeah, the guy from that one episode. Yep, totally remembered him.
Turns out Rex really likes home decorating magazines.
His teammates would probably give him for that, but I think Rex is onto something. Never am I more calm and relaxed than when HDTV is on. If I've had a bad day, watching people redesign a living room is the
You're the only person I know who still reads magazines.
I hear people say this all the time, yet every time I'm at Barnes & Noble, I see 15 magazine racks that tell a different story. I just realized for that sin to work, you'd actually have to believe I went to bookstores. Oh, books.
So, Helga, you've been a nanny for 30 years.
Dressing like Mary Poppins for your nanny interview seems to be a little over the top, but you do you, Helga. Oliver conveniently grabbing scissors right as April needs to show Debbie how good she will be at nannying, and I guess keeping scissors away from Oliver is convenient. Also leaving scissors out in a room where a small child is playing.
I also play a mean lullaby on the ukulele.
Why would Oliver want a mean lullaby? Don't you think a child would be more soothed by, like, a nice lullaby?
Mama boss. See? Oliver knows who's in charge.
I mean, Oliver didn't say Charles, so does he really know who's in charge?
Real nice place you made here, Eve.
Cecil.
Reminds me of where I grew up.
Cecil grew up in a treehouse?
But you know how to find me if you need my help again.
And you know where to find me when you change your mind.
So that was a minute of Cecil saying, Eve, you should come back. And Eve saying, no thanks. And then Cecil saying, you know where to find me. And why is this scene? I'll never get that time back. And I'm neither invincible or immortal.
Just leave your suit and I'll have it fixed by morning.
Where exactly does Art think Mark is keeping his suit? You should really find out where and how that juice is being refrigerated before taking a swig, Amber. You're in a treehouse.
Because I'm doing exactly to her what my dad did to me and my mom.
Well, not exactly what Nolan did. You aren't secretly preparing Earth for invasion while calling Amber your pet, right? Right?
Nolan wrote more than just travel books.
And conveniently, Art asked about seeing your dad again so you could tell him the whole read my books bit. And now Art can give you said book so you can read an exposition away. Yay?
Can you believe he gave them to me as a tip once?
Worrying about a lame tip to the kid whose dad tried to murder him and everyone he loves.
They did upgrade the waffle maker in the cafeteria.
Unless that upgrade gives the waffle maker the ability to question its purpose in life, I'm not interested.
Rick, I'm so sorry. It's going to be all right. I promise.
Unkeepable promises. This Magnum Pie poster is not hanging up in my office. Starting in the middle of a book. Also reading.
Savage Planet, Savage Beasts.
Title of my sex tape?
How can I hear you speak?
Immortal even screams in his mind? I'm starting to think all being immortal does is make you an angry dick all the time. We are supposed to root for this guy occasionally, right? How can we show you our characters are in college if we don't show a douchey college party? Cliché.
You know, on my planet, a sock on the door means somebody's f***ing.
Not sure if I find it weirder that they have the same code on Alan's planet or that they even wear socks.
I just got back from space. Twice. I'm not going back just to talk to your boss.
Mark would be interstellar at TVSins.
I've heard rumors of a Viltrumite prison somewhere in space. Maybe they took him there.
Show tries to set up its own Boiling Rock prison break storyline, and stealing from The Last Airbender will always get you a sin.
Hey, Mark. Are you and Amber done yet?
Even though he's not actually being a sock blocker, since Mark and Amber aren't in the middle of hooking up, William is still totally being a sock blocker. Oh, cool. We're not done with the Sequids yet. I was really hoping they'd come back. Hang on, are you telling me Cecil didn't run scans on this dude after his return to Earth and quarantine him? Because I'm calling bullshit on the world's most paranoid man letting the astronaut just go home.
It is good to be home.
Oh, wow. Thanks from Levy is in the city. Yay.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I couldn't hear you over the sound of me saving your life. My skeleton feels like it's made of skin.
I'm not some stupid you convinced to get into a pig.
Good work.
No. You good job.
I can't believe my daddy is dead. I can think of so many people I would rather have died first. Like my mother.
Why do I feel this way, Marcus?
Because it was real.
What is it about being a superhero where we go around saving lives while ruining them at the same time?
You are just so glass half empty.
Turns out Rex really likes home decorating magazines.
Reminds me of where I grew up.
I grew up in Reseda.
I told you it's gonna be another 4 hours. You want it done fast or done right?
I'm working here.
You know, on my planet, a sock on the door means somebody's f***ing.
It means a vagina.